What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. So it seems that the Lib Dems and Dominic Grieve have made themselves a little general election pact because he knows he ain't going to get elected otherwise, as he's now going for the Remain vote because Tory voters will not vote for him this time around since he sold them down the river last time. The Sunday Times is running this story. It says Lib Dems to save Dominic Grieve in Remain Alliance Pact. Rival candidate will stand aside to allow former Tory rebel a free run at the polls as another ex-minister defects, which will also give the Brexit party a free run against him. So that could be good. The Conservatives might need to stand down a candidate there just to get someone in to stop Grieve, because that will really piss off these Remainers. It says a leading Tory Brexit rebel has struck a secret deal with the Liberal Democrats in what is the first significant move towards the formation of a Remain alliance at the general election. The Liberal Democrats have agreed to stand aside to help former Conservative Dominic Grieve save his Beaconsfield seat, paving the way for a Brexit showdown at the ballot box. The former Attorney General, a leading light in the cross-party rebel alliance, is planning to stand as an independent after being kicked out of the party by Boris Johnson for backing plans to seize control of the Commons in order to block no deal. He wasn't actually kicked out by Boris Johnson. The party removed the whip, which I believe is the 1922 committee. Boris probably had a hand in it, but I'm sure it's actually the party that does it. Following talks with party bosses, Grieve's Lib Dem opponent in Beaconsfield, Rob Castell, has agreed to stand down. This could pave the way for the Greens to do the same. Campaigners for a People's Vote are also likely to urge Labour voters to hold their nose and back Grieve in order to maximise votes in Parliament for a new referendum. Grieve told the Sunday Times, if there is going to be a general election prior to Brexit being concluded, my view is that, in those circumstances, if I can't stand as a Conservative candidate, I will stand as an independent. It's up to other political parties to decide whether they wish to put up a candidate. My understanding is that the Liberal Democrats will decide not to do so, for which I am grateful. I believe that will be helpful. I have also had supportive emails from people who voted Labour in 2017, which goes to show this guy is not a Conservative after all. At the last election, Grieve beat Labour into second place, while the Lib Dems were third with just 4,448 votes, but in 2010 and 2005, the Lib Dems were his closest challengers. Not anymore. You might have the Brexit party challenging that right now. The only previous example of a Remain alliance was in the Brecon and Radnorshire by-election in August, which the Greens and Plaid Cymru stood aside to unite the Remain vote behind the victorious Lib Dem Jane Dodds. The Liberal Democrats declined to comment, but senior sources confirmed that a deal has been struck. The development come as Europhile former Tory Cabinet Minister Stephen Darrel today reveals that he joined the Liberal Democrats in an article for the Sunday Times website today. Darrel, who initially defected to Change UK earlier this year, claims both major parties have retreated into mean-spirited factionalism. He is now urging Liberal Conservatives and Social Democrats to break cover from their respective parties and join the Liberal Democrats in a big Liberal tent. So he did a Chuka Ramuna and political hookered it from the Conservative Party to Change UK and then to the Lib Dems, although Chuka come from the Labour Party to Change UK to the Lib Dems. So there we go, guys. We now have two political hookers as MPs in Parliament representing parties they were not elected for. Darrel, who was Health Secretary under John Major, compared today's political crisis with the defection of MPs from Gladstone's Liberals to the Tory party in the 19th century and of Liberals to Labour in the 1920s and 1930s. Our society is in the middle of a similar political crisis. The modern heirs of these liberal traditions now find themselves shackled to dinosaurs which are no longer viable, he writes. It's time for them to break their shackles and join with the Liberal Democrats to build an effective voice for a modern liberal Britain. That is what I have done. No, you have joined the illiberal undemocrats at the end of the day, mate. Calling themselves liberal or democratic is a really bad joke at the end of the day. This is Jo Swinson, who said even if she lost another referendum, she still wouldn't listen to it. So yeah, democratic, no. Liberal, no. They want a European empire. I don't consider that to be very liberal. But this is just the first sign of what I expected would come. Remain alliance. It's like I've said before, the Tory party and the Brexit party need to get over themselves and work out a deal where they can stand and help each other in certain seats and stand aside in other seats to make sure that the Brexiteers win, because that's what the Ramonas are going to do right now. You can see it happening. People are giving up the possibility of seats. I mean, the Lib Dems is not too bad. They could just put their candidates somewhere else. But Labour, they want a full 650, I'm sure. The same as the Tories and the Brexit Party. But I don't think that the Liberal Democrats have 650 possible candidates. So they can move people around like they did with Chuka Ramuna, who went from Streatham to Westminster. So unlike Rory the soy boy Stewart, Dominic Grieve intends to stay on as an MP, even though he actually lost votes of no confidence in his local area, and he knows the Tory party voters are definitely not going to vote for him now because they voted him in 2017 on a manifesto to deliver Brexit, which he has now been called out as someone who literally wants to stop it. So he can't run on that anymore. He's going to have to go with I want to remain. So he's appealing to the Lib Dems and Labour Remain voters right now, possibly a few Change UK and other irrelevant parties. But as I've said already, Nigel and Boris, fix your lives up, sort it out, work out an election pact, win this shit, and take us out on WTO terms. We're not asking anymore, we're telling. But right guys, I'm going to end the video there. I want to thank the channel's PayPal, Patreon and Subscribe Star members for supporting the channel, along with everyone who watches my videos. Remember to let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Leave a like, subscribe with the notification bell and share this video as it helps the channel a lot. And I will see you all in the next one.
This Parliament is a dead Parliament. It should no longer sit. It has no moral right to sit on these green benches. They don't like the truth. Twice they have been asked to let the electorate decide upon whether they should continue to sit in their seats, while they block 17.4 million people's votes. Parliament is a disgrace, but they're too cowardly to give it a go. But the time is coming. The time is coming, Mr. Speaker, when even these turkeys won't be able to prevent Christmas.